what's up? It's Travel Chronicles. It's been a long week. I'm going to break this one up probably into two parts. So this is going to be Travel Chronicles Chapter 51, Part 1. And then I'll do a Part 2. It's more of a rant here in a little bit, but I wanted to separate the two because today is 9/11. And it's kind of significant from the standpoint of, I was talking to my son, he's a senior, that this year it'll be the first year where you didn't have like a significant number of kids in at least one class in high school or elementary school that were alive during 9/11. Like, this is the first year, like, the high schools, obviously it's been a while since elementary schools have had somebody, but now the kids are going through high school. Last year, that class, they would have been, infant, babies. They would have been 18 coming into 9/11. This year, you may have some 19-year-olds out there that have, were born in early September maybe, or, got held back, something like that. But this is, it'll probably be like the last year there will be any kids in high school that weren't alive that were alive during 9/11. So it's kind of significant that way, but it's the first year where there's a majority, the vast majority of kids were not alive. So, kind of look at it two ways. Next year will probably be the first year, the 20-year anniversary, where there definitely won't be any of those kids who have been alive during 9/11. And I think his class actually doesn't have anybody. So right now, this will be the first year for Martin's Ferry where they haven't had anybody alive prior to 9/11 in the school. So, it's just kind of you don't forget that day. You don't forget what you were doing. I was at work, and a call came across that a plane had flown into one of the World Trade Centers. Like, oh, wow, that's a horrible accident. How something like that happened. And then you find out later that it wasn't an accident when another plane flies into another. You're like, what the heck is going on? It's like, we're under attack. And then I'll never forget, they had a little TV out. That was way before YouTube, way before the stuff on the internet. The company I worked for at the time didn't even have you had to apply to get internet access. You couldn't, they just give it to everybody. So the local TV, you were close enough to the TV station where you could pick it up with an antenna. So they had a couple of small TVs with antennas where they could pick up the signal, and they were broadcasting, right then. And I came in, and it was like noon. It was after it had happened. It was actually recording, but when I seen the tower, so I was like, oh my goodness, they collapsed. And yeah. I was like, I had no idea at that point. And later that day, we had a power outage, a power blip. And when all that stuff is going on, and the power goes out, it's like, ooh, we're under attack. There is some stuff going on. And at the end of the day, so I was at work an extremely long period of time, because we had to, when that plant went down, it took a while to get everything back. So, I was there working on getting things started back up. It was late into the night, and I remember they had the TV on in the conference room at that point. It was a little bit bigger, and at some point there were it was brought across that we were bombing an airport or a landing strip or something in one of these foreign countries. And it was yeah, get them, but just it was crazy. I'll always remember that day. It's locked into my mind. What happened for me, and what I saw. But I think as time goes on, you kind of, that groundswell of support that you had for everybody else, the fire department, police departments, the federal. I think everybody was like 90%. Everybody was on like the same page, wanting the same things. It wasn't an election year. There was no politics involved. It was just let's do the right thing, and everybody was on the same page. So, something like that happened right now. Who knows how those things will be spun out of control? It's impossible to just unite and be united on the same front now. It's crazy how things have changed in almost 20 years, 19 years. But that's all. Always remember and or never forget something along those lines. And I won't. But that's pretty. I'm not sure how to end that one. So I'll just stop right there.